Hiya guys, so been trawling through some of the old books of folklore and fairy tales again, and I've been looking at one that was collated by P.H. Emerson in 1894, various stories of old folk tales and things like that. And many of these stories, the way they were documented, were as the author was told them, and that's pretty much how I'm going to narrate this next story. If you've listened to episodes in the past, you've been on tours with us, if you've listened to the podcast, I'm sure you'll know that us Welsh, we love our omens, our signs, death portents, things like that. And I'm sure many of you are familiar with the nursery rhyme involving magpies. There's one for sorrow, two for joy, three for a girl, started now, four for a boy, five for silver, six for gold, seven for a secret, never to be told. That's pretty much all I got. I think it goes up to about 13. I'm sure it ends with actually, I think it's 13. If you see 13, you end up coming face to face with the devil himself. But anyway, getting back on track a little bit, the Welsh had their very own version of this. It wasn't magpies you would look out for, though. It was actually the title of this next story, The Crows.
One black crow, bad luck for me. Two black crows, good luck for me. Three black crows, a son shall be born in the family. Four black crows, a daughter shall be born in the family. Five black crows shall be a funeral in the family, and six black crows, if they fly head on, a sudden death. Seven black crows, with their tails towards you, death within 7 years. There was a young man not so very long ago, who had been to sea for many years. He was married but had no children. He was one of the most spirited men you ever saw, but he used to complain of his dreams. He said, "All at once last Sunday I was up in the air, and I saw the vessel I was in going at great speed, making for a mountain, and I tried as hard as I could to keep her from the mountain. I don't believe I was asleep at all, I could see it so plainly. I went along in the air looking at seven black crows all the time. I got dizzy, and the vessel seemed to lower onto the earth. The vessel lowered within a few 100 feet of the earth, and I saw what I thought were fairies. I thought I'd been there for days. In truth, it seemed to me I'd been there for 3 days, and I could hear the fairies with mournful sounds drawing a coffin. I watched and saw 7 crows on the coffin. It seemed as if they were going to bury someone. Whilst the coffin was going, the 7 crows flew up and bursted, and the heavens were illuminated more strongly than by the sun. Then I lost sight of the fairies, but I saw some big giants in white walking, and there was a big throne with a roof to it. And all at once I was in total darkness, but I could hear things flapping about, flying through the air. Then I saw the moon, and rising, and all the stars, all objects flying through the air. And one came to me and put his hand upon my shoulder, saying, "Prepare to meet us tomorrow." After that, everything went dark again. The first thing I knew, I was in a ship steering, and 7 black crows were in front of me. I had great trouble to steer my vessel, and as I went on, the vessel struck a steeple and exploded, and I awoke, whereupon I jumped out of bed looking very pale. I left him on the beach at 11:30 after he told me this, and I went home. When he got home, he could see 7 black crows on the house. Other people could see the crows, but could not count them. He saw them all perched head on. He went into the house and said, "There is something in these crows, Jane. See them on the roof." She cried out, ran and looked, but could not see the 7. After that, he didn't seem to be himself, though there was nothing actually the matter with him. A week afterwards, I went out on the Sunday morning after breakfast, and there was a seat on the bench, and on it this man, Johnny, and another man. "Why, Johnny, you look very pale," I said. "Do I?" he said. "Yes, indeed you do," I replied. "Well, I don't know, I have had such dreams." "What will they have been then?" I asked. "That I was in a full-rigged ship, with all sail set. I was alone, but I could see nothing, only 7 black crows. I counted them, but my wife could see nothing, but she could hear something." That same day, when he went home, he said to his wife, "Ah, Jane, there is something coming over me," and at that he fell down dead.
So another one that ends quite suddenly, I found. But I suppose that's all you really need. He saw the 7 crows and death followed, much as was prophesied. And today, of course, many cultures all around the world have similar stories and similar tales to this. I'm sure there's many more just here in Wales. Many of us today, though, we kind of turn our noses at such things, don't they? A lot of people don't believe in these old superstitions anymore, which is quite sad in a way. But I'll never forget when we were first researching our St Fagans ghost tour, and we were chatting to one of the staff members who told us a story about when he was a little boy. He said for about a week straight a magpie relentlessly pecked at the kitchen window, and he always remembers his mother saying that this meant bad news. It was an ill omen, something awful was coming. He said he's only a little boy at the time, didn't really think much of it. But on the 7th day, when the magpie was seen, suddenly their grandmother tragically passed away. It was only years later, when he understood a little bit more about Welsh folklore mythology himself, that this came flooding back to him, and the significance of what his mother said really held some weight for him. It's worth noting as well, on the 7th day after the grandmother passed away, the magpie was never seen pecking at that window again. So who knows, it just shows that even today, that story took place in the last 30-40 years or so. Some of us still hold these superstitions quite dear to us. Some of us do still observe such things and look out for such omens. So next time you're on your leisurely stroll, having a little walk around, it's not just the magpie to look out for, you've got to keep an eye out for the crows as well. Just looking around now, I haven't seen any so far, which is probably a good sign. But I hope you've enjoyed this one, and if you do have similar stories, please share them in the comments below. I'd love to hear the stories, love to hear people's experiences of such things. And please remember to like, subscribe, share the video, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next one. So thank you once again. See you soon.